Looking at our world from a theological perspective. This is the Theology Central podcast, making theology central.
Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, March the 20th, 2022. It is currently 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you live from my upstairs room located right here in my home, which is located right here in Abilene, Texas. We are basically what we're doing this evening is we're doing kind of an impromptu live test because we have just set up a Wi-Fi extender, right? Where my internet router is, it's way on the other side of the house. It's downstairs, completely the other side of the house. And so doing live broadcast up here has been somewhat questionable, somewhat iffy, all right? Okay. Someone just said, now that you're broadcasting for home, we have to always be ready for the alert. Yes. Now that I can broadcast from here, you always have to be ready because at any time, all I have to do is just walk upstairs and set everything up. But I was asking people about Wi-Fi extenders, and one of our listeners, they sent me, they shared the information of which one to purchase. We purchased it. The first thing that happened is, well, the first one got lost. The first one did not show up. So I had to contact Amazon. I'm like, where is my Wi-Fi extender? They're like, oh, sorry, it's lost. So we'll send you another one. And when I arrived home from church this evening, there it was at the front door. So I immediately came in, started hooking it all up, following the directions, and I've got it set up right here behind me. And according to the indicator here, we have, it looks like our signal is strong. Looks like we have good internet connection. Nothing appears to be cutting out. I don't think we're going to have any problems. So if that works, then that means this will probably become kind of my permanent, headquarters for the Theology Central podcast. It may become, I'm just going to do a lot more here, especially this morning. When we got ready to go to church, I noticed that we had to put gas in the car, and it was $3.99 a gallon. So at $4 a gallon, basically, that's, when $4 a gallon to drive almost about 18 minutes one way, 18 minutes another way, and you're doing that every single day, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, twice on Sunday, sometimes twice on Wednesday, you're going through a lot of gasoline. So in order to try to save a little money, if we can make this work, then that's what we're going to do. The Wi-Fi extender was only like, I think it was $40. I think it was around $40. So yeah, that's great. I think this morning I didn't even put that many gallons of gasoline in the car, and it was like $20-something, and it was like, this is crazy. So we're definitely going to try to use this. No one has complained about the sound quality from up here. No one has said that there's a problem here. I know one thing I've done. We may be having some sound quality because I did not set things up here. Okay, I'm going to try something here. If everything goes wrong, tell me. All right. I did not set up the microphone. All right, here we go. Now, did everything crash? All right. For those who are listening, is everything still working? Now, let me know if everything is still working. That's one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to set up the microphone. All right. I was so worried about the Wi-Fi extender that I didn't even. So if you can still hear me, let me know. All right. If you can still hear me, let me know. Oh, it sounds fine. All right, working. Okay, great. All right, so now that we have everything set up and the green light that I kept telling you was turning red is not turning red, it appears anymore. So I think maybe we fixed that problem. I think we fixed everything. So that means we're going to be doing most of our broadcasting from up here. I hope it works. Now, when it's summer and it's 197 degrees here in West Texas, I think what we're gonna do is each day before I start broadcasting, I'll turn on the window unit here, try to get it as cool as I can, and then when I'm actually broadcasting, turn it off, and then turn it back on as soon as I'm over. I think we'll be able to work it that way. Okay, good. So another person said, I still hear you, no cutout. All right. All right, good. So I think everything is working. I think everything's working great. I think this is actually working really well. So I'm glad to hear that. It does make it it does give me the opportunity, especially when people ask me a question, right? Like you send me a message and you're like, "Hey, I'm doing the Bible study exercise and I'm having problems with this." I don't have to try to pack everything up and drive all the way to the church like I've done in the past. Someone will ask a question. I'm like, okay, give me an hour. And then I pack everything up, drive to the church, and then go live. Now I can just walk upstairs and do that. So that one, I can get the answer to you faster. Two, I don't spend $900 in gasoline. And three, another person just said, I hear you fine. Okay, great. So everything seems to be working great. So I think that will be better for everyone involved. And so we're definitely going to use this. I'm still going at times to make trips to the church because it's just, being in an empty building completely by yourself just gives you a little sense of freedom. And it just sometimes feels easier to do that. So we will see. All right. So I wanted to at least address that this evening. And I wanted to address two other things really quick. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's been a really weird day. We got a notification from YouTube. They sent me a message basically saying, hey, congratulations. You just went over like 30,000 streams and listens. And I'm like, what is going on? And I went and looked at the numbers and I'm like, what has happened? It's like a 600% increase. I don't know what's going on, but we are very grateful for that. And I've been getting a lot of messages from people who've been listening to us on YouTube, asking me lots of questions like, I can't find this, or wait a minute. So I see your discussions about this, but where are the Bible study exercises? And they're trying to find all of the content. And look, with YouTube, there's no simple way for me to try to structure the content. Maybe there is, but if there is, I'm not that familiar with the YouTube setup. For everyone just needs to understand the way YouTube works is I sit here behind the microphone, and when I'm finished, everything just automatically gets sent there. I don't have any real control over it. I have a little bit more control now than I did, but that's really just our podcast hosting site just automatically sending it there. So there's a lot of things that I don't have control over. So I want to just make sure everyone, at least on YouTube, knows, and anyone else who's listening on any other app, the best way to find our content as of right now, the easiest way is to download the ChurchOne app. It is the easiest way because we can create series, right? And then put all of those messages in those series, and you can follow the series itself. And I think if you follow the series, you will get a notification when a new message has been added to that series. I think you'll get a notification there. But you can follow individual series. You can get a notification for anything that's added to the site. You get notifications when we go live. The ChurchOne app is really the best solution to finding things. Now, I know I think Android users have had a few problems with if their screen time's out, then the audio cuts out. I have let them know about that, and they're trying to work on that. Maybe they'll get an update that will fix it, but it's still overall, it's the best app to use. Obviously, you can find our content on Spreaker under two different podcasts, VBC and Theology Central. Under ChurchOne, it's just all there. It's right there. And I'm constantly adding older stuff to the ChurchOne app. I'm trying to daily, so you're getting notifications for older stuff being added. Please use that. But just go to your app store of choice, type in ChurchOne, O-N-E, ChurchOne, all run together. Download the app, search for Theology Central, make us the selected broadcaster, and there you have it. Make sure you look at the notification setting in the ChurchOne app and make sure all three are turned on. Then you won't miss anything and you can find anything. Now, I know by doing that, I'm really hurting myself, right? Because there are people listening to us on YouTube, and then I'm kind of diverting them from YouTube to go to ChurchOne. I know that, but I want to give everyone, use whatever works for you. But I think ChurchOne is the best option right now in many aspects. And if we're not having any problems with the software with the ChurchOne app, where we do live broadcasting, it's really easy to do live broadcasting on ChurchOne. The one thing we cannot get rid of, though, is Spreaker. We cannot get rid of Spreaker because that's the podcast hosting site. That gets sent to all the podcast apps. So we cannot get rid of that. No matter, I know it's a lot of money. Well, we can't get rid of that. All right. ChurchOne is a much cheaper than Spreaker. All right. But Spreaker is our go-to because that's how everything gets sent to all the different platforms. But yeah, please consider downloading the ChurchOne app. The weird thing is I have no numbers. In other words, there's no statistics telling me how many people are using ChurchOne. None. There's just absolutely none. It's really bizarre. So I don't know who's using it. Also, the Sermon Audio 2.0 app is another way to follow us. That's another great way to follow us. And now they don't have the notifications really set up on the Sermon Audio app as of right now. I have emailed them about that. I'm going to email them again tomorrow and see if we can get some kind of like, hey, when are you going to get the notifications ready to go? Because if they get the notifications set up for the Sermons 2.0 app or the Sermon Audio 2.0 app, then really that would work just as well because all of the structure and all of the different series is available there as well. So we're really going to point people in that direction. Please utilize those and just whatever works for you. And a lot of people that are currently listening, I have an idea what you're using to listen as well. Obviously, I know many are using a Spreaker, but if you've never contacted me, just a quick email letting me know, hey, I'm using this, and then just let me know because it's always hard to try to figure out where we put our focus. Like today, I asked a lot of people, go to YouTube, subscribe, give me a thumbs up in the comments because we want to build on that momentum because that makes us visible to the algorithms that more people will discover us. But at the same time, I'm looking at the numbers for how many people are listening to us via Sermons 2.0, which would include the ChurchOne app, and those numbers are higher than they've ever been. So in some cases, I want, hey, everyone go to Sermons 2.0 and ChurchOne and listen to us there. So sometimes I feel like I'm always chasing. It's hard to know where to put the emphasis. So I do appreciate everyone's helping out whenever I ask you to help me out because that's important. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and talk about the fact that the Wi-Fi extender, and just so that you know, I've been talking for 12 minutes and 40 seconds, and the green indicator has not turned red, not one time. So that is perfect. That is perfect, and that indicates that we have a strong signal. So to the people who recommended this, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. Because it's greatly appreciated because I didn't know exactly which one to go with, and this was relatively inexpensive. It didn't cost us too much, so that worked out great. All right, and then I think one last thing I wanted to talk about. Obviously, you got the Bible study exercise you're working on this week. Remember the chapter summary method? I think someone in the Discord channel, let me just look here. I think someone just shared their homework. Let me look here. I think this is their homework. Oh, no, that's their notes on Romans chapter 8, verse 6, the word election. All right. That's some good stuff. I love seeing people's notes on the stuff that we're doing. All right. And, this is from the chapter summary method, it looks like. All right. So, yes, it's in pen. So we know what that means. This is a heretic, probably needs to be excommunicated. So we'll work on excommunication for writing in ink and publicly shaming them. Okay. Yeah. All right. But yes, you got to, I'm joking. We're not going to excommunicate someone for that. But I'm looking here of all the other things that are going on my iPad right now. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I got 9,000 apps open here. All right. Here we go. Go to Theology Central. Open that. Make sure there's nobody communicating. Okay, good. All right. I think those are the main things I wanted to talk about. I just think that we're doing our best to try to come up with the best way to bring you the most content possible. Now, I haven't heard any complaints. For some of the long-term time listeners, you probably got used to hey, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He's probably about to go live for 3 or 4 hours. And you probably have noticed that I may do an hour and then I may just stop because, well, now I'm at home. I can come up here and go back downstairs. I'm going to try to get better at maybe, if I start at 3, going 2.5 hours, then maybe take a break and then come back maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night. That may mess up some of your ability to listen to me live. I apologize for that. But it's just going to be easier to do one thing and you just take a break if I want to, instead of if you're at the church and you've drove 20 minutes, you're not just going to pack right back up and drive back home. So you want to make the most use of your time. So that may change a little bit in the scheduling, but if it does, then if it becomes a problem for you, feel free to let me know. Obviously, I can't accommodate everyone, but the people who speak up going, hey, here are the good times that I typically listen live. If you go live during this time, I can listen. Feel free to tell me that. And if I see like an overlap, there's multiple people who can listen at that time, then I will try to make sure I schedule it around those times if I can. And I think that's about it. We did the overview for the book of Jude tonight. If you missed the evening service, we finished the overview to the book of Jude. So that was a good thing. And we started Romans chapter 9 this morning, which I have been dreading now since we started the book of Romans. When we started Romans, I'm like, I don't want to do Romans 9, 10, and 11. I do not want to do Romans 9, 10, and 11. I do not want to do Romans 9, 10, and 11 because I know it's going to end in this never-ending debate over Israel between amillennialist and dispensationalist and everyone else involved. I'm not looking forward to that in any way, shape, or form. But we'll work through that. So hopefully it'll be beneficial. And we're fast approaching our study of Matthew 24. So be ready to go with that. And just hopefully everyone has a good week doing the chapter summary method. And just remember our emphasis in John 13 through 15, the chapter summary method. And the emphasis in John 15, really, I think the emphasis in a roundabout way in John 13, 14, and 15 is this idea of living a life of love, which we are commanded to in Scripture. And we talked about that earlier today. So a lot of content, a lot of stuff, and I appreciate everyone's help and listening when I go live to do one of these tests. Still, 17 minutes in, the green light yet has not turned red in any way, shape, or form. So we fixed that problem completely. So problem solved. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Everyone have a great evening. ChurchOne App. Download it. That's the Theology Central app now, right? ChurchOne, please download it. If you're using it, let me know, all right? Because that tells us that the money we're spending for the ChurchOne app is worth it, all right? That's about $50 a month to have that, all right? So that costs money. So we want to know that the things we're doing is working out, all right? Because if it's not, then we'll do away with certain things. Okay. All right. There you go. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great week. Someone asked me to do a study on Matthew chapter 22, verses 1 through 14. Matthew chapter 22, verses 1 through 14. The plan is to possibly try to address that section of Scripture Wednesday night at the Wednesday evening service. So I will get to that on Wednesday. All right, that's the plan. All right, and if anybody has any questions or need any help this week, let me know. I'm probably going to choose a Bible memory verse probably tonight or tomorrow. It'll be from either John 13, 14, or 15, and it's going to deal with the subject of love. So that you can be looking for that. All right, thank you. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for listening, and God bless.